they did wrong, Luke,
Yeah.
is they failed to put the provisions of the rules and regulations that I broke, or that I'm allegedly breaching by allegedly speeding. It's all allegedly, that's in fact.
And they don't know that you couldn't drive in that car. They've got no proof of that. They've got
They
no
have
proof.
no evidence. No one's actually, no police employee can honestly stand on the witness stand without perjuring themselves and say that I was driving that car that day, because the photo doesn't show me driving the car. You just see the windscreen, you can't see the driver. And they, because it's a criminal, you know, there's civil and there's criminal. There's two people, you know, breaching a contract, and it's just all about, you know, people, someone might pay $10 to get a brick laid in their house and the bricklayer fucks up. You know, that's a breach. That's what you call a civil proceedings, where there's no injury or harm or loss. If there is injury, harm, loss, then it's a criminal procedure, because you've done something bad. Purportedly. Alright? So because it's criminal and not civil, they have to prove every element of the crime and allegation beyond the criminal standard of reasonable doubt, which means there's absolutely no doubt. It's certainty. He was there for certain, but they don't have any witness that can identify me there.
Yeah, because
And they're saying they clicked the plate, and I'm saying, well, then go and take the registration plate to court. Stop coming after me. And they're going, but you're the registered owner. And I'm going, I'm one of the registered owners, because Mum is also a registered owner of the car. So even the fact that there's two owners kills the theory of beyond a reasonable doubt, because it's not beyond a reasonable doubt that one of the owners was in there 50-50. That's not beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes, but what if Mum was driving that car that day and she was speeding, but you got sent to court?
If they try to cancel, withdraw the charge against me and then put it against Mum,
and that would be a lot easier for them.
They would fail, because under their own rules they have to file the proceedings within the first 3 or 6 months. I'm not too sure which one that is. Within 3 or 6 months of the initial offence happening, which means 22nd of August, because they're saying it happened on 22nd of April. So sorry, 22nd of October was their final date that they had to file any charge against Mum for this offence. So they can't even do that. But then again, they'd also need to have witnesses proving that they saw Mum there. Or if Mum goes there and says, look, you know, I was at home. Here's my 3 children and my mother that was sitting in the lounge with me, that was with me that day. And they can all just write statements and sign it.
Me?
Anybody can make an affidavit of fact. And in law, an affidavit, unrebutted, in other words, if you're writing something on a bit of paper and everyone accepts what you're writing to be true, and nobody argues or rebuts what you're saying on there and says, no, it was actually this, no one does that, then that affidavit stands as fact. So you can get multiple witnesses saying, oh, Mum was here, and sign an affidavit of fact. It's that.
Yeah, so
it's for them to prove otherwise.
Yeah, but because say they don't know that you were driving the car or Mum was driving the car.
They don't know they can't identify the driver. That's the whole point.
Exactly. So you two might not have been driving the car, because this isn't our car. We're not the owner. You're not the, and Mum are not ownership of this car.
I could have loaned it to a mate that day.
Exactly.
And he could have been driving it.
Yeah, but and then you still have the charges.
Yeah, because I'm the primary registered owner of the vehicle. Well, my person is. Get it?
So a friend could really fuck you up big time if you're speeding.
Well, no. See, that's the whole thing. You're worried about getting in trouble for speeding. What should really be happening is that the prosecution, because he who makes the claim has the burden of proof. If they're saying someone else did something, It's the prosecution's job to satisfy the burden of proof in criminal proceedings beyond a reasonable doubt. Otherwise, there's no case. The person's got nothing to fear, or the man or woman that's getting accused of something should have nothing to fear, right? I mean, you're presumed innocent. So what are you afraid of? Do you understand me?
Nothing.
Everybody's worried about getting in trouble with some fictional entity that doesn't actually exist, because it's just a man or a woman acting in some capacity. But, you know, they put on a superhero costume, they got a shiny ass fucking badge, and they got a gun. Fuck man, they're out there to fight crime. You know.
Not to me.
And they think they can fly, mate. They think they can do whatever they like. It's ridiculous. In actual fact, we're all equal. And when they jump into those costumes, they are less than the public, because they're public servants. If you ordered a drink and if you order a drink and the waitress says, "Nah, fuck off, mate, you can have this instead." Do you think you're going to buy anything from that shop next time?
No.
Yeah, exactly. You don't take shit from your servants, from those that are supposed to serve you. And if they don't want to be like that, or if they don't like that, well, there's always the private sector. They don't have to be public servants. They can go and work in a private sector for a private company. You know, it's just the way people think. They're all worried about getting in trouble. What really should be happening is the person that's bringing the charges, they should be worried about following every step of their procedures correctly and providing evidence beyond reasonable doubt.
Which is what you're doing.
That's exactly what I haven't even got to that stage, because they haven't told me the provisions. So I don't know what I'm accused of. That's a fatal breach of their rules. They have to tell you what you've done wrong.
They're still selling the house.
And they haven't done it. Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't put a stamp showing what you did.
They didn't specify the provisions of what act and rule that I breached.
So
It should have been on the reminder notice.
So they made an illegal document.
Yes, they filed a fraudulent document. It's a defective document. It's abusive process, because they have to inform. I see, as innocent, you have to be. You can't see. Everybody just thinks they know what they're getting accused of, but you have to be fully informed of the nature and cause of the proceedings. And it's not for you to find that out. It's for them to tell you. How can you plead guilty to something you don't understand what it's about? I mean, you believe it is, but that's just a belief. You should go by facts and evidence.
True.
It's really easy, eh?